Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, and today's pick a card, what's next in love. So today we're going to take a look at what's coming in for you in love, whether it's a new person, a new chapter in a current relationship, or something altogether different. We're going to take a look at what kind of energy you're resonating with right now and what kind of advice Spirit has for you going forward. So remember that these messages, they're timeless and they find you whenever you're ready to receive them. So as always, take a moment to just ground yourself, sit back, take a deep breath, and allow your intuition to draw you to the pile that calls to you the most. Pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3. Timestamps are below, and if you need another minute, this is a perfect time to pause the video. So when you're ready, you can go straight to your reading, and we're going to get started with the reading for pile number 1. Welcome to your reading, pile number 1. Let's just jump right into it. What is the next stage for you? The nectar. Something that heals, right? An elixir of a kind. You have temperance energy coming in. So that's the card actually for Sagittarius. Some of you may be dealing with that. 4 of Wands. This is the soulmate card, oftentimes called the 1111. What's your deepest desire? You have a moon in Scorpio. Deep feelings, deep feelings. What animal spirit do you resonate with? Right now, you're the novice. The earthworm is associated with the novice, somebody really new in a grounded way. Ace of Cups has come in. Wow, this is getting like emotionally intense, right? And you also have the Star. So the Star is the card for Aquarius. Some of you dealing with Sagittarius. Some of you may be dealing with some Aquarian energy. What does Spirit have to say? It's all about your intuition. Yeah, leaning into your intuition in this next stage is important. And Spirit says, you have the spirit of the angels and spirit of connections. You are guided as well as a fated meeting is coming in. So this reading is really nice. We're going to go quite deep with some clarifiers right away. I can see that the next stage in love for you is deep. It involves the possibility of a really deep, fated connection coming in, something that is almost brand new to you. So let's just talk about this next stage, the nectar. So for you, the nectar, the nectar represents that beautiful elixir, something that heals. Anything that we associate with the nectar is something that oftentimes is sweet and delicious, but at the same time heals and rejuvenates, right? More than anything, rejuvenates and gets that energy back. Temperance energy and 4 of Wands. So this next stage of love for you is like beautiful, right? You have a period where you are just enjoying, and everything that you're enjoying about it is a feeling of rejuvenation and healing. There's a lot of temperance here. Things go kind of in a very balanced way, sort of bit by bit, but there is a celebration. 4 of Wands. This next stage involves meeting, certainly meeting someone. I'm going to say that is right away a strong love connection. Right away, it's like, oh, wow, okay. 4 of Wands indicates almost like a celebration. It's one of those feelings like when you meet someone, perhaps your friends know them, your friends are friends, right? You're in the same circle, but it's almost as if the two of you come together and everyone around you is like, finally, or hooray, they're, these two really met each other, or finally they're together, or, it's almost as if this feeling of everyone around you knows that the two of you should be together. Right? And they almost celebrate the two of you being together. Like they love it, right? Temperance is there because there's a lot of care being put in. We're flipped over right away. Full energy. I love that. I was going to pull some clarifiers. Let me get one more or two more. I want to learn a little bit more about this next stage. It doesn't indicate a person just yet. We're talking about the nectar. So the essence of this next stage in love for you is a rejuvenation, right? And a sort of drinking in an experience that makes you feel young again, that makes you feel excited again. Now that of course could involve a specific person or just an energy that's around you. Here I do think it is a specific person as I look ahead. Let me get another card. Yeah. Page of Cups. It is the beginning of a love connection. The beginning of a love connection that's very, very new and sort of really fresh. That Page of Cups is all about like the initial stages, like that little bit of a dating. Again, I think that you very much, with that Fool as well, this is something that kind of comes out of nowhere and you're willing to give it a chance. There's a feeling here of you really wanting to give it a chance. Take a leap of faith, as the Fool says. But it's also at the same time almost like a whole new journey for you. This is very much a distinct new stage for you. You may be coming out of a period. Let's get my other clarifying card. I want to know if you're coming out of a particular period with that nectar coming in. And then we're going to move into this energy that you resonate during this period. Is there, let's see. Six of Cups, interesting. Wow, and the Moon. There was an unsure period that you're coming out of. The nectar. Yeah, there's a period that you're coming out of where you were kind of like just things were very unsure. Things may have been very sparse in your love life. You really just didn't, you had no idea kind of what was coming next, right? It was kind of very uncertain. You may have been between sort of relationships or at a kind of a crossroads, at a bit of a stale period, maybe even as well, but just very unsure about how to move forward. A little bit tentative, but Six of Cups come in, and that's quite interesting because it indicates that for some of you, what has come in may be someone you've known for quite some time. Maybe the relationship has already been there, but you are taking a leap of faith with them. There is, this is a new connection in this way for you. But for some of you, this person is kind of coming back into your life or is already in your life as a friend. Now, what kind of energy are you resonating with? This is quite interesting. The earthworm comes in along with that power. So the earthworm, of course, earth animal spirit, but very much sort of a shy animal spirit. Beginning, it's all kind of fresh and new for the earthworm. The earthworm is this, the animal spirit for the novice, someone who's just starting on a path perhaps that they haven't been on before. Everyone else around them seems to be quite a bit more experienced, right, in this area. But earthworm can just generally be that kind of shy energy. Creative though, a desire to be creative, a desire to sort of explore, and yet at the same time feeling very shy. Your deepest desire though, Moon in Scorpio, is to have that deep connection. So this might be quite new, this next stage for you. It may indeed be that it almost feels as though that for some of you here, this next stage is a stage of kind of deciding to give yourself over to a much deeper connection, allowing yourself to feel a little bit deeper. Moon in Scorpio is very intense energy. It's a desire for having very intense relationships. It's a desire for oftentimes the emotions are so strong with this combination of Moon and Scorpio that unless you give free rein to them, they can be quite explosive. They can express themselves in a very explosive and intense way. So ultimately, the desire with this energy here is to be very free to express these deep, very passionate sort of emotions and feelings. And so it feels to me like you're kind of going into an area where this is what you want. You may have, up until now, shied away from really extreme feelings and passionate emotions when it comes to a relationship, keeping it kind of cool, keeping things cool. But something's happening here with that Ace of Cups and Star. There is a love connection coming in, and I think it's something you secretly dreamed for a very long time. There is an opportunity here of really just being able to sort of open up. It feels very much, again, like this is a reading for somebody who perhaps up until now, you never really had the occasion or the opportunity to go very deep in your relationships. It may be a block that, a blockage or an obstacle that you've put in place, and a chance, in a way to not be vulnerable, perhaps not, not to put yourself out there. This is a new thing for you. And I think in as much as this person, this connection that comes in, Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, brings such a good feeling with that nectar. This next stage brings such a good, happy, rejuvenating feeling to you that you kind of deal with that fear of being, of going too deep or being too vulnerable. It all feels too good, right? You've met somebody that makes it worth it. Let's put it to you this way. It feels as though that you have connected or you are about to connect in this next stage with somebody where you can't help but want to go deeper. And this is indeed a new outlook or a new way of looking at relationships compared to the way you've, approached them before. So there is a learning curve here, but deep, deep desire, something you've wanted for quite some time. Star energy. Let me get some more clarifiers. I want to know just a little bit more about that Ace of Cups and that star, because that is definitely star energy. It's just something that it's a hope, a dream you have for yourself that you always are kind of feeding. You never really give up on it. Everything you do in your life in general on your path is always kind of toward that dream, even if it isn't like that on the surface. But let us see. Ace of Cups, star energy. There's some anxiety that was here. And there's anxiety here. Building a new sort of chapter or stage. This is new. Yeah, this is really a new thing for you to sort of really give into this love connection to build a future. There is anxiety here. I think you may be dealing with some past sort of energy here. Memories from the past. You may have some trauma even, some bad memories from the past of getting too close into a connection or getting too committed and too serious about a love connection and it kind of went sideways. There is some anxiety here, but deep down inside you really, really desire it, and it is coming in for you. So what's next in love for you is an opportunity for you to have that deep connection. There's a new love connection coming in. For some of you, this is someone you already know and have some history with, but the connection is now resonating up to a love connection. And you're kind of dealing with a little bit of anxiety about it. The anxiety is coming from some experiences in the past, maybe some regrets that you have for certain decisions you may have made before. You feel a little bit new about all of this. There's a feeling of being kind of like, this is different. I'm not used to this, but you're there for it, right? You are there for it. There is an intense amount of emotion that's here that you can't really deny. And ultimately, I think that is what is going to lead you and guide you. Intuition's coming in. The spirit says, right now it's all about listening to your intuition, your gut, your soul. Like, just listen to your inner voice and it will guide you. Try not, don't listen to the fears or sort of, allow yourself to, your brain, overthink things and start to assign labels and all these things. Just quiet yourself. Oftentimes it would be good just to be still, quiet your mind, maybe even do a small breath meditation and really just allow yourself to get in touch with your intuition. So that you can read the situation. Again, there is a feeling here that this is very new to you. And you feel a little bit out of your depth, but at the same time, it all feels so delicious, that nectar. This connection with this person is just so good you can't, right? You love being with them. You love everything about being with them. This is a very physical connection, a very romantic connection. It moves very quickly. Spirit of angel and spirit of connections comes in. Yeah, you're getting blessings and guidance from your angels, and this meeting is very fated. There is a feeling that this person is like a soulmate because it does feel so good. And oftentimes, when you meet a true soulmate, it is really that kind of connection that almost seems as though like, wow, you know, with this person, I can finally sort of address some of my issues, or I'm willing to do what I haven't been willing to do before. I'm willing to sort of be more vulnerable. I'm willing to sort of give into my emotions a bit better, allow my emotions to be expressed a bit more. Temperance is there. There is still a feeling of being careful, pulling back. But yeah, when you meet this, there's just this kind of like, wow, you know, you are exactly the connection, the soulmate I've been hoping for in the back of my mind, at the same time not holding my breath, but hoping for. And now that you're here, it's just, there is room for change. There is room for an opening up here for you that you haven't had before. Definitely a new chapter coming in. I really love it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and pull out your zodiac runes. Now is when we're going to take a look and see what kind of zodiac signs you might be dealing with. Some of you are dealing with that Aries. Aries energy. Let's pull some more. Some of you are dealing with that Leo, more fire energy. Some of you are dealing with that Taurus. So strong earth, Taurus, love of beauty, romance. And finally, some of you are dealing with that Aquarius. Yes. So Aquarius, the star is the card for Aquarius. So showing up in the reading as a zodiac energy and as a main energy. I love this for you. This is the end of the message for pile number one. I hope it resonated for you. If this is something that you feel like you're going through that you can really connect with, let us know in the comments that this is your pile, and how it feels for you in terms of what you're going through right now. Maybe you already know who this person is that you might be feeling quite connected to. But this is it for right now. I thank you so much. But if you are called to stay with me, we're going to get started with the reading for pile number two right now. Welcome to pile number two. Let's just jump right into it. What's your energy in this next stage? The animal archetype. Instinctual, raw, passionate. Justice comes in. This is the card for Libra. Some of you may have Libra energy. What else comes in? Three of Cups. Friendships, connections. What's your deepest desire? A moon in Cancer. More friendship energy, loyalties. What animal spirit do you resonate with? That fiery gazelle. Grace under pressure, beauty. What else do we have? Three of Swords, a betrayal. So with all this friendship and yet a betrayal coming in, we'll see. And Nine of Cups, a wish fulfillment. What does Spirit have to say about all of this? Communication is the most important thing over this next stage in love. And we have also Spirits of the Woods and Spirit of the Fly. So darkness, you know, voices, negativity, the dark side of the woods, as well as stagnation and decay from Spirit of that Fly. All right. Wow. We are going to go deeper, of course, with clarifiers, more oracles and zodiac runes. But let's just get right into this next stage for you. Is all about the animal. Now, we're going to see if that is more to do with you or your person, but I generally feel like right away, intuitively, it's a person who's coming in for you, and they very much resonate with that animal spirit. They bring that rawness. They definitely bring a sense of passion and almost instinct. Like, you know, logic is not slowing them down. And you also have Justice and Three of Cups. So there is a karmic kind of rebalancing coming in. And a lot of friends are at play. So right now, over this next period in love for you, it really does feel like an individual or an energy from someone is coming in who very much resonates with that raw animal, almost passionate desire, very instinctual. The animal loves life, loves everything that is natural. We're talking about someone who really operates from a position of sort of authenticity, right? an animal is very much authentic. It doesn't think about being an animal. It doesn't manipulate. It does, it operates from a real point of instinct, a real point of sort of its natural sort of energy. And there is a rebalancing with that justice and that three of cups. I look ahead to the three of swords, and it almost feels like this next stage, 10 of wands, wanted to flip over. This next stage is a real, it's almost like a payback is happening. I'm going to tell you right away how I feel with this reading. It feels like this next stage in love involves someone who comes into you. And it also involves a social circle where things were kind of, there was some karma that needed to be dealt with. Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity. Yeah, karma needed to be dealt with here in this situation. As I look ahead, it almost feels like something is coming in to rectify a betrayal of the past. And it has definitely something to do with your friend circle here. People you know, people you've been connected with, but somewhere along the line, something was very much out of balance. And for you, this next stage is a period of you really letting go. There is some stuff that you were carrying for friends of yours that was just too much for you to carry. They were burdens, obligations, perhaps, somewhere along the line, you really had to sort of compromise a lot for the sake of providing support to people who may not, they may have, I don't know, there's a feeling of overwhelming you with a lot of things that you bore the brunt of that weren't really for you to bear the brunt of. Ace of Pentacles, there's a real, like, sort of a real material, opportunity coming in for you to sort of leave all of that, drop that, and sort of move to a place where, again, your karma's coming in. It almost feels like you've really given up a lot for friendship, and now it's your turn. What else do we see? Let's move on. So your energy is Gazelle and Moon in Cancer. You're staying very authentic over this next period. And there is Gazelle energy here. Fiery, graceful, beautiful. And yet there's always this pressure, right? The gazelle is ready to move at the drop of a hat, It's an animal that's constantly preyed upon, oftentimes because of its beauty and energy. And it almost feels like you were caught up. I'm going to tell you, this message is very strong and direct. You were caught up, I feel like, in some kind of betrayal through a friendship. Somebody in your friend circle may have betrayed you or hurt you in some way in love, right? It wasn't even like, it was some kind of situation where you missed out, right? You may have missed out on an opportunity in a connection, in a love connection. You may have missed out on an opportunity to sort of progress in some kind of way. And, there was a real delay in your happiness coming in as a result of somebody else's, very much it feels like selfishness almost. But what comes in for you now is a wish fulfillment with that Nine of Cups. Someone comes in who's very passionate and really not able to be caught up in sort of the grapevine or the gossip or whatever kind of toxicity came in here to cause this betrayal. This person is not able to be caught up in that. And it's interesting because what you truly desire, that Moon in Cancer, that's a really strong bond. Moon in Cancer is that feeling of your lover being your friend is your lover. This is when you have relationships with somebody that not only are you in a love connection, but you are like the best friends. No one can come between the two of you, because you're also the best of friends. You trust each other implicitly. The connection is so tight and so intimate and so close. The loyalty and trust is so strong. And this comes in for you. It's what you desire, especially on the heels of having been betrayed before through friends. I think that really impacted your love situation. But this is all about to be rectified. Justice comes in, karma comes in, a real opportunity, and I think it's this animal spirit. Moon, wow, you feel very unsure about it. When it comes in, it's not necessarily going to be very obvious. It almost feels like somebody, I'm going to tell you specifically, it almost feels like somebody comes in and they have that desire for you. And before, it was very much like everyone else was winning in a way. It almost felt like friends around you, friendships, connections around you, people around you, everyone always came in for them. You know, love interest, love connections, people around them, a lot of beauty, a lot of passion, attraction. This time, but, and also I will say some toxicity. There is a lot of, we still have Three of Swords. We still have a betrayal there. So there was some manipulation, some games being played here. But this time you have someone who resonates in energy. I really feel like this is a new person who comes in, but it's almost irrelevant who this person is because their character doesn't really show up much in this reading for you, but it's more about what they represent. They represent that very natural, sort of instinctual attraction to you. And it's very much like a Cinderella story. You know, that's what it feels like, you know, where everyone else around you has had that, but now this time it comes in for you and it's so authentic and so strong, and everybody around is kind of like, what? You let go of some burdens and obligations you've been carrying for some of these friends. Some of you may have even been carrying secrets. And a lot of this really impacted your ability to move forward in love. But this time, it's your turn and you get your wish fulfillment. That betrayal that you had through your friends definitely gets dealt with. You know, there's a real feeling of karma, good karma kind of coming in and being paid to you after a while of you having dealt with a lot of bad things. Now, gazelle energy, there's, you resonate with gazelle, I feel like, because you're still feeling very much under attack here, right? But you're maintaining your beauty and your poise and your strength, and this is only attracting this person to you stronger. But it's all, this next stage in love for you is so much more about sort of, I want to say, healing that betrayal, sort of rebalancing the scales here, meeting out some karma, and kind of coming back into alignment. What does Spirit have to say? It's all about communication. Yeah, right now it's the time to be very blunt and outspoken. Communicate clearly. Open that throat chakra and connect it to your heart so that your communication comes from a place of love, but so that it is honest, it is clear, right? Spirit of the woods and spirit of the fly. There is a lot of demons around you, you know, a lot of dark voices, but these are just designed to scare you, to intimidate. When I say that, I'm talking about the effect that this will have on some of your friendships here. You know, oftentimes when balance is restored, to friendships that have become exploitative or manipulative, or where you, things have been, the energy exchange is out of balance, right? You find yourself not really, you know, these not really being friends, more just being sort of connections with people where they either take from you or you have to fight with them to not have them take from you. All of this is part of that sort of spirit of the woods, uncertainty, the fear, the pressure, stress that people sort of purposely seep into your life to disrupt you. You're noticing all of that, and that still may be there. But you're also noticing the decay and stagnation with some of these connections. And I think you're going to realize through this next stage that it is time for you to sort of cut off some of these people. It's time to cut some of these connections off. It's time to sort of I will say, you know, allow a newness, a freshness to come in for you. Some of these connections no longer serve you. Ten of Wands, that release, that finally, that straw that broke the camel's back, you know, is definitely coming in. And so it's time to sort of clean away all of these old leftover connections with people who are kind of old and tired. Their energy on you has fizzled out a bit. And it's a real opportunity here. This new opportunity with this person is a very real opportunity. And it does seem to me like you're so happy with it. You know, Nine of Cups is a real sort of, let me get one more card I want to see. It's a real sort of satisfactory kind of like, wow, I got my wish energy. I want to know one more thing between that gazelle and communication. What's that communication? Because I feel like there's going to be some important conversations that need to be had. The Tower, there it is. I was wondering. So the Tower, the Tower is telling us that communication right now is really you're gonna have to be honest with people. They may not like what you have to say. At the same time, there's gonna be some revelations that come in, some information, some truths and revelations that come in for you over this next period that's really going to rock you. You're going to realize some things that's going to make you or allow you to much easier get rid of some of these people, and connections and cut them out of your life that are really not serving you anymore. There's quite a dynamic revealing of information that happens. And this is all through the communication, which is why Spirit is reminding you right now, most importantly, over this next stage in love, is your communication. All right, everybody, let's check out your zodiac. Some of you guys are dealing with a Gemini. There's a lot of communication with Geminis. Yes, they love to have those conversations. Capricorn, that strong earth. Definitely could be somebody you're dealing with who resonates with that Capricorn energy, who has a real, substantive, opportunity they're giving you in love. Talking about that animal, that person resonates with that animal and nature. Libra, some of you dealing with the balance of the Libra. That's justice. Remember I said justice is the card for Libra. So some of you absolutely dealing with Libra energy and Pisces energy. That strong psychic, emotional, spiritual energy of Pisces. All right, guys, those are your zodiac runes for this reading. This is the message I have for you. I hope it resonated. If it did, share it with the collective. If you know what's going on here, you're tapping into this message and you see it playing out in your life, let us know how it's going for you. And that is it for me for pile number 2. Thank you so much. Now, if you are called to stay with me for pile number 3, we're going to get started right now. Welcome to pile number 3. Let's get right into what is coming in for you in this next chapter, the Sustainer. All right, so this already feels like a strong personality coming in. The Hanged Man. We have 4 of Pentacles, holding on to stability. Beautiful. What's your deepest desire? Moon and Gemini. Adaptability and love. What's your animal spirit? The Buffalo. Strong earth energy. Coming in also with death. This is the card for Scorpio, and huge transformation and change coming in, as well as that beautiful 6 of Cups. So a lot of love. Along with cultivation. This is what Spirit says is at play right now. Cultivating, nurturing, putting that effort in. And we have Spirit of the Flock and Spirit of the Lion. So there's gossip at play. Rivals are at play. And yet at the same time, that beautiful sort of strong dignity of the lion, that respect, that authority. All right, we will go deeper with clarifiers and more oracles and zodiac runes. But right away, I see someone coming in for you. The Sustainer is also somebody who is extremely adaptable. You have to be able to bring a lot of things to play in order to sustain a situation. More than anything, somebody who resonates with this energy is extremely good under pressure. Right now, this helps because there's also an energy of resonating with the Hanged Man and 4 of Pentacles. So there's some energy here of having some financial security issues that you're trying to stabilize, being stuck maybe in a position. There's one sort of mode, it feels like, that right now you may be a little bit stuck in, or you may have found yourself unable to break out of a certain way of looking at life, perhaps. There is issues definitely at play right now, but to do with your physical well-being, let's say your stability, your financial stability. And this is also playing into your next stage in love. It feels like this person is coming in as an assist, right? Balance, justice, and heartache. Yeah, so this may be on the heels of a heartache. For some of you, you may have gone through recently a divorce or separation of some kind. And it really caused you to have a lot of financial issues, right? Four of Pentacles, you really find yourself having to hold on to sort of your stability. Yeah, Justice, Three of Swords. Yeah, it's a very difficult period. A feeling of having been betrayed, having had to deal with officialdom. Justice can mean that you may have had to deal with mediation, lawyers, official documents, all of this in a way to sort of like get out from underneath whatever this betrayal caused. For some of you, there's a feeling that you have been forced in a position to kind of have a certain outlook, right? I think there may even be a bit of a determined outlook that you've had, almost pessimistic, like this is the way things are and they're never going to change, right? Of course, this is a result of some of your experience. So you're coming out of, I want to say, a difficult period, a period where you really had to adapt a lot, where you kind of became maybe even a little bit hardened. Not to blame you at all. You really have had to work hard to maintain your financial stability. And in comes this individual, this sustainer, somebody who is exactly the type of energy that you kind of need right now. Now, what energy are you resonating with over this next period? Adaptability and the buffalo. You really require, your deepest desire is somebody who's going to be able to handle this situation in your, like, let's say, take you and what you're going through, right? So for instance, you have a lot on your plate right now. So you need somebody and you desire a connection with somebody who is adaptable, who's able to sort of deal with the fact that you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have days where you have a lot of stress. You're also really going through a big shift right now. There is movement happening. For a long time, I think you just didn't believe, perhaps, or you were unwilling to believe in maybe a bit of optimism or, a spiritual sort of, I want to say, point. Like, what's the point of all of this? But you're coming out of that buffalo energy. It seems to indicate right now, over this next period, you're kind of coming through, or beginning rather, a spiritual awakening as a result of some of the hardship that you've had to go through here. There's a big shift happening in the way you see the world and the way you see your sense of your own spirituality fitting into that. There's a wisdom that's unfolding within you. Buffalo energy indicates, being able to put wisdom into practical sort of efforts, right? Bringing that wisdom down and making your surroundings work for you. Buffalo is very, very wise and experienced and strong, able to overcome a lot of obstacles through its wisdom and maintain its stability. And you're coming through that, or you're certainly going into a phase as a result of all this difficult changes here. And so death is coming in Six of Cups. Could very well be that this sustainer is somebody you've known for a very long time. For some of you, it almost feels like this person, you've already had a connection with them. And now, because you are going through so much change, like such transformation in so many ways, this person is coming in and they've kind of always been the sustainer. There's a feeling here that this relationship you have with them has always been built on trust and sort of loyalty. When you need them, they come in. But now you're going through such a profound change. Some of you, as I say, this is a divorce, a separation that you've recently gone through. And as a result of that, you've had this huge kind of shift. You've had a shift in the way you see yourself. You've had a shift in the way you see yourself in the world. Perhaps the way you see the next stage in your life, what you're willing to do or not to do, what you're willing to give up or not to give up. There's a wisdom here that started to formulate as a result of your recent experience. So you're kind of integrating this lesson right now. But it's a huge change from where you were at. And this sustainer, this connection, this previous connection comes in. Let me pull another card. Feels like the next stage in love for you involves a healing from this breakup that you certainly have gone through that involved a lot of pain. And this healing involves someone that you already have trust, loyalty with, you already have history with, affection. And they really come in, I want to say, for you right now. And something develops out of it. Queen of Pentacles, yeah. They come in to help you very much maintain and rebuild, especially in a physical way. So if you lost money or if you lost some of your financial stability because of this divorce or this separation or this very difficult shift here that you went through and this change here with this death card, this person is coming in to help you sort of climb back onto your throne, regain, and almost surpass. You may have taken a step back financially in some ways, but this person is coming in very much to help you take a step forward or 2 steps forward, 3 steps forward, regain what you've lost and then some, especially through this really major shift you're having. You do really, really desire, I think, some freedom in your next stage in love. And this is where this moon and Gemini energy comes from. After having gone through, I want to say, this divorce, this separation, etc., this previous relationship, you're not in a hurry to be pinned down again. You're really not in a hurry for anyone that requires a lot of intensity. You're in a stage right now where you want to be able to communicate. You want to be able to talk about things. You want to be able to have some freedom. You want to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it and find your footing. You do enjoy the idea, and I think you desire a connection, companionship through this next stage of your life. And this next stage in love will be very much a stage of developing a companionship with someone who you already have affection for, I say. But this is not like a hot and heavy love coming in. This feels very much more like a support, something that is cultivated at a time right now where there's only so much you actually have to give to a new relationship. Much of your energy is kind of working through all of this that you've gone through, reestablishing yourself financially, right? Having this sort of wisdom, this transformation in your knowledge and wisdom and understanding of life and the way you fit into this world and what you see for your future. All of this change that's happening, yes, you don't kind of want to do it alone. You enjoy this companionship and you enjoy the support of somebody who brings such strong energy like the sustainer, but you need them to be adaptable. You require them to not necessarily keep you pinned down. And so what is Spirit saying about all of this? Yeah, cultivation is at play because right now it's all about nurturing. Nurturing yourself, nurturing your future, putting effort in, cultivating, tending to it. And in this way as well with this connection with this person, tending to this connection, cultivating it through a kind of a slow and steady just togetherness, right? I think it's interesting. It almost feels like a really slow kind of build up, but this is much more, I want to say, a support and a steady sort of investment for your sake more than anything. This next stage in love for you is very much all about supporting you and sort of investing in nurturing and cultivation in you and you kind of healing out of the stage and coming back into a good place. This is not to say that this person isn't coming with you, but they're bringing just a level of healthiness and I want to say emotional support to you right now. So it's all about a cultivating of a relationship that will deepen in time, perhaps. Spirit of the flock, spirit of the lion. A lot of flock energy there. Of course, because as I say, definitely this is a reading for somebody who's recently gone through a very, maybe even public divorce or separation. Certainly friends, people will be around. Gossip will be involved. The Pisces, the social circles, but nevertheless, spirit of the lion is there. That dignity, that recognition, that respect, that, how you choose to carry yourself through this moment. Yes, there may have been a little bit of a setback. Let me get a card from my other deck. I just want to get that connection between that cultivation and this kind of trio here, Six of Cups Buffalo, which is the connection with your person. Yes, there's going to be, that gossipy rivalry kind of energy from people around you that always happens when you separate or divorce. It's like the deceptive, dishonest, duplicitous people definitely come out the closet, right? As well as your friends, those who support you. But people who have waited for things to break apart. You ever have those people in your social circle that sort of thrive on when people break up or when people lose jobs or when things don't go, when something goes through a shadow period or negative or breakup, these people kind of thrive on that. So there will be some of that there, but you rise above that with the spirit of the lion. Four of Swords. Yeah, there's a real, interesting. There is a feeling here that you'll be very careful with the way you make your decisions. Again, Spirit says it is all about cultivation and being very intentional, nurturing, step by step, putting that effort in. Four of Swords is also about taking your time with the decisions you make in this connection because it's special. It's a special connection. And as I say, you're not in a rush to squash it. You're not in a rush to get into anything, right? You're in a very guarded, protected stage for yourself and for any possible deepening of a connection that may happen here with this person. Definitely the sustainer is someone coming in to support you who, again, you have already known for quite some time. So you're very careful you don't want to ruin this relationship with this person. You're already starting from a deep, deep affectionate friendship. And as it develops through this stage of your life, you're being very, very careful to protect it. And this is all about the cultivating of a new chapter for the two of you. Now, what zodiac signs are we dealing with? Some of you are dealing with that Sagittarius. Yes, the Archer. Some of you are dealing with a Cancer, that beautiful Cancerian energy coming in. Some of you are dealing with a Virgo. We have some Earth, strong Earth. And some of you dealing with that Scorpio. Wow. Again, 2 water, Cancer, Scorpio, fire, Sagittarius, Earth, Virgo. This is it. This is the message I have for you today for pile number 3. I hope it resonated for you. If it did, if this is something you're connecting with or going through, sound off in the collective. Let the collective know this is your pile and perhaps share your story. If you enjoy my readings, don't forget to hit the like button. That really helps me out on YouTube. And that is it. I wish you all love, life, and happiness. And I hope to see all of you right back here, Bow and Arrow Tarot, for your next Pick a Card Love Tarot reading. Bye-bye, everyone.